Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx and we are at the square. This is everlasting summer. The hangover seemed to ease out, so I could be better focused on the previous night. Alright. Whatever does she really mean to me? Was it just drunken sex or something more? Naturally I can't speak for Alisa. It's difficult to even speak for myself. I began to remember the curse of my acquaintance with her, how she teased and mocked me at first, her arrogance and self-confidence. It was more than compensated for by the tenderness of last night. It was already clear that she is not the person she wants to seem like. But what kind of person is the real Alisa? And do I have any feelings towards her? Yes, you have. I do feel sympathy, a sort of affection, but is there something more? My reflections were interrupted by Alisa. Here, take it! She held out a huge backpack to me. What's this? I asked skeptically. My stuff. Why so little? I brought as much as I could fit. Look, we don't know how far we have to go. Maybe you can take only the most necessary things. So what? I just have to throw it away? Leave it here! Alisa sniffed. Firstly, I couldn't understand why she even has that much stuff, and secondly, what's so valuable in there? But the chivalrous duty of carrying it is mine, isn't it? Of course. She smiled archly. I evaluated how much it will weigh. About 10 kilos, I guess. So not that much. I can carry that for a few kilometers, but not much further than that. Really? You do understand that we'll not get very far with it. We'll do our best. You mean I can throw something out later? We'll see. She answered with her eyes flashing slyly. Okay, I'm taking at your word. After all, as I have to carry it, I have the right to throw things out of it. And so our journey began. It took me at least an hour to start getting tired. I would never have thought that I possessed such stamina. Either the backpack was easy to carry or last night's exercises had trained my muscles. I stopped on the roadside and threw Alisa's belongings to the ground. What are you doing? She was clearly resentful. Do you want to carry it yourself? Of course not. In that case, I need to rest. Naturally, the most rational decision was to get rid of most of the stuff, keeping only the most necessary things, but I couldn't bring myself to such drastic measures. You've been keeping silent for the whole time. Alisa was staring vacantly down the road that receded into the distance. What is there to talk about? Don't know. But you're behaving as if nothing happened. Did something happen? She asked absent-mindedly. Well, you know. Had enough rest? Then let's go. Alisa began to quickly walk away from me. Hey, wait a minute! I shouldered the backpack and ran after her. Where this is going? We've been traveling in silence for some time, with Alisa slightly ahead and behind. And me behind. I had no idea how to start a conversation. She seems to be giving out obvious hints that the night's events were one big mistake. At least, it seemed to me. Like that. For, from my point of view, what happened was meant to happen. Really? For the last few days in the camp, I'd definitely been attracted to Alisa. Wow, you finally realized it. And I believe she was attracted to me as well. Wow, you are so fast in realizing such a thing. In that case, what's the problem? You're an idiot. Maybe she doesn't want it to be just a one-night stand. You know, she turned and looked at me. What's with the music? If I did something wrong. You did nothing wrong. But it just turned out this way. So it was just an accident. I didn't say that. Then what did you say? My inability to get a straight answer made me begin to lose my temper, and I raised my voice. You're just giving me hints, ambiguities. What about straightforwardness, sincerity? You weren't like this before. People tend to change. She slowly paced forward. Change? You call this a change? You're a completely different person now, just like Lena, really? Alicia stopped but didn't turn. Don't compare. Got it? Don't compare me with her. She spoke quietly, but there was rage in her voice. What? I was somewhat taken aback. You blame me for everything, but what about yourself? You are constantly looking at her. Even now you managed to see her in me. Wait, what? Why did you come yesterday? Then you could have gone to her. You did know. Did know what? Did know that I was waiting for you. It seems that making this confession was a hard decision for Alisa, but at first I assigned little significance to her words. Well, you yourself told me to come yesterday, so I... This isn't about that! Alisa burst into sobs and covered her face with hands. I was completely taken aback. Still, I still didn't get what she's hinting at, so it was impossible to talk normally. Sorry. This guy is such an idiot. Forgive me. Stop apologizing. But if I said or did something wrong, so what's the point in apologizing, if you already did? Better to behave yourself from the beginning. But I don't know how. Alisa looked up at me. There was so much sorrow in her gaze that I couldn't bear it and turned away. We stood like that for some time. Soon she seemed to pull herself back together. Okay, forget it. Let's move on. Naturally, I couldn't forget it even if I wanted to, but I had nothing to say anyway, so I followed her in silence. Alright, so you actually did not move, or what? Or the whole road looks the same in every place? Or the sun was slowly moving below the horizon. I was immersed in thoughts and even forgot about the heavy backpack on my back. I had to say something, do something. Alisa is expecting me to at least a few words. But what should I begin with? I'd gotten used to everything in my life being quite simple. Any tasks seemed to be already finished after only a few steps. Instead of considering the long way to my goal, I immediately started to think about the results, enjoying an unachieved victory. Moreover, I doubt I'd have to face a situation like this in real world. Obviously, for a long time, I dreamed about a person who could care about me. But right now, such person is in front of me, and yet, I feel nothing. And I can't tell Alisa either yes or no, just because I don't know what will happen next. Meanwhile, it got dark. I guess we should make a camp for the night. There's nothing that much left to go. Not that much to go. Are you sure? And even if that's so, it's better to travel during the daytime. You know best, she answered coldly. We stopped at the edge of a wood. Got anything useful in there? I pointed at a backpack. Have a look. Mainly footwear and clothes were there, but on the bottom I found a magazine and a box of matches, quite enough to light a fire. Soon we were sitting on a fallen tree and warming our hands by the fire. Only now did I finally realize that I'd finally gotten out of that damn camp. I'd found no answers. On the contrary, everything had become even more tangled as, I guess, I am to spend the rest of my life in this reality. If I don't take into consideration all this sci-fi stuff, it's clear that I am somewhere in the south at the end of the 80s. How and, more importantly, why I was brought here is not so important now, as I had to somehow adapt. And I ought to begin with the girl sitting by my side. So, what will we do when we reach the district center? Call our parents. What else? Alisa smiled slightly. Yeah, for him it will be easy to achieve, if you can call to the future. She had someone to call. And then it's all over. Meaning? Well, we'll leave for our homes. I wasn't really surprised by this answer. I just hadn't thought about what would happen after the term ended. And that's it? What else is there? I don't know. After all that happened. But nothing happened at all, she told me merrily. What do you mean, nothing happened? You'll have a chance to find Lena. I was surprised, but Alisa said it absolutely kindly. As if I need Lena. I wouldn't be so sure. And I am sure. Let me decide for myself. Yeah? When did you start to do such silly things? About... I suddenly remembered my current age. 17 years ago. Well, admirable. But to be honest, I didn't notice anything like that. What exactly should you have decided? That you are able to say something without a single doubt. She was absolutely right on this point. And what exactly you want to hear? You know what? This game of hints could last forever. If you want to know how I feel towards you, then I will speak frankly. I don't know myself. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Alisa turned away. What can I do? That's the truth. And what can I do? I don't ask anything of you. Yeah, are you sure? Sure. I answered after a while. And what were you doing all 7 days in the camp? What was I doing? You were asking, weren't you? What was I asking for? For what reason? Can't you talk in a way that people can understand? The mind readers are on vacation. If you wanted to, you would understand. I can't understand it without an explanation. It's okay. It's just idle talk. She stood up and went towards the road. No way. I lost my temper completely, so I jumped up, ran up to her in a couple of strides, grabbed her hand and pulled her towards me. But I had miscalculated the amount of strength I should use, and we fell to the ground with Alisa lying beneath me. What? Yesterday wasn't enough? Want more? Her face was glowing and her eyes were flashing. I felt really mixed up. I released the girl's hand but didn't stand up at once. I just want to understand. Where did I go wrong? Why are you always thinking that you went wrong somewhere? Because you think so. Who told you that? I didn't. But I can see it. You see everything, don't you? You see and draw conclusions that you shouldn't interfere, that you should lie low, say nothing. I draw conclusions based on logic. Are you sure that logic of yours is correct? I didn't know what to say about that. For some time we just lay there. I was completely confused, and it seems that Alisa didn't want to continue our conversation. Finally, she pushed me away and stood up. Why are you here now? With me? Because everyone left the camp and we stayed. I'm not talking about that. Well, because I like you. Finally, I dared to say it directly. Are you sure? And what about Lena? She was always next to you. What the maybe she's too much work. And what about me? I'm very simple. Just snap your fingers and I'm in your bed. I wouldn't say it's that simple with her. Don't put your words in my mouth. You say nothing, so there's plenty of room there. But you think for a dozen others. Well, she was absolutely right on that point. I didn't think anything like that. So, do I have to just simply believe all of this? You don't have to believe. I'm not forcing you. But it's the truth, so I'm not going to make anything up. Words should be proven with actions. What action is she expecting from me? Well, we could do it again. I said with a stupid smile. I had no idea how I even dared to think of joking in such a situation, especially a joke like that. Sure, come on! What? Alisa said in a calm voice, walked to the fire and started to undress. I jumped up, ran to her and grabbed her arm. What are you doing? Wait, I didn't mean that. Well, what's the big deal? Don't you need me just for that? Of course not. You got me all wrong. How should I get you then? She pulled her arm free and started crying. I lay down beside her, hugged her and started patting her head. Everything is alright. Calm down. Leave me alone, she said through the tears, but didn't try to free herself. You see, I had a hard life before this camp. I just haven't got used to this. I don't know how to act in situations like this. I've been alone for a long time. no friends, no loved ones. I have just forgotten how to feel and how to love. It's hard for me. It's so much easier not to get mixed up in those matters. Finally, it became just normal not to. And here we are, something I never could have imagined. It doesn't mean that I'm an egotistical bastard. Although I guess it seems that maybe I am. I just can't do that right away. Alisa didn't reply and continued crying. But I know one thing for sure. There is nothing between me and Lena. She's a friend, nothing more. I never look at her that way. And I need you. Not only for what you think I want. I just don't know how to tell you the things you want to hear. They carry obligations. You see, I'm in the kind of situation now where I even don't know what will happen to me in the next hour. And here, Alisa seemed to not be listening to me at all, or my excuses just didn't reach her. Well, I should be proud of myself. I made a girl cry. And which girl? Alisa, who at first glance seemed to be a complete stranger to any romantic feelings. You know, I can't make the decision for both of us. I can only say for myself that I am ready to be with you, to support you, to protect you. But you? Why do you need me? I have nothing in my soul. I don't know what I want from this life. Besides, I am here now, but tomorrow I might be gone. Alisa stopped crying for a moment. Don't you understand that I already made the decision a long time ago? When? She looked up at me with teary eyes. I might have been happiness in them for I might have seen happiness in them for a moment. Alisa embraced me and tenderly kissed me. It was the best kiss of my entire life. Though it wasn't as passionate as the one last night, but there was so much tenderness, trust and love that I just dissolved in her lips, in her arms. I forgot about everything, about the camp, about my past, and the doubts which were tormenting me a moment before. She was all that I need. Now. And forever. Let's end the episode here, and we will see what is happening. No, what will happen in the future of these two in the next episode. See you then. Bye.